What's up, people? Welcome back to the Prophecies. I am your host, the Prophet. As y'all come on, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button, like and share the video, say something in the chat so we can see who's all rocking and rolling. We're going to have a grown up conversation tonight. High value versus high functioning. This was a conversation between Cam Newton and Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. It came out like a month ago. If y'all haven't seen that, go check that out on YouTube right now. But soon as people pile in a little bit, this is a members only thing. So shout out to all the members. I'll put the link in the chat for anybody who wants to come on. If anybody has anything to say, y'all could come on and speak your piece as well. I love a good debate. So welcome to the Prophecies, people. What's the word? How's everybody doing? First and foremost, shout out to all the people in Florida who are dealing with these hurricanes. First it was Helene, now it's Milton. So prayers to everybody down south who's dealing with the hurricanes, man. But what's the word, people? How's everybody doing today, man? Welcome back to the Prophecies, man. What's up? What's up, people? Everybody quiet today? Everybody shy? Anybody rocking? Anybody rolling? Yeah, this conversation came about from an interview that I seen between Cam Newton and Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and they were talking about high value versus how high functioning people, and there's a lot of different layers and ways that we're going to go about this conversation. So, we can get into it as soon as y'all ready. Let me see something. Say something in the chat or say something in the comment section, and then we can get right to it, people. What's up? Let's see what's happening here, man. It's been pretty quiet on this side, so. What's up, Tara? How you doing? All right, people. So, do y'all know what high functioning and high value is? Like, what is your definition of a high functioning or a high value person? Let me know in the chat. All right. So, he was saying to her, "What's up, Tanya King?" He was saying to her that she's a single parent who's never been married. So her value might have dropped. And she was saying that he's been getting all these women pregnant. So I think Cam has like 8, 10, something like that. 8 or 10 kids by like 5, 6 different women, something like that. Maybe even 12 kids. Don't quote me on this. And maybe 12 kids by 8 different women. So she's saying that you're creating broken homes and you're creating single mothers as well. So you may be high functioning, meaning you might be a highly successful person, but your value is not the same either because you're creating broken homes. So y'all let me know in the chat and in the comment section. What do y'all think about high value versus high functioning? What's up, Janine? I see you in the chat. Yeah, so I want to create a whole list, and then I want y'all to partake in what do y'all think is high value or high function. So if you have, like the women are saying that they want this 666 thing now. So if y'all don't know, 666 is 6 feet, 6 figures, and 6 if y'all get my drift. So that's the other 6. So a person could have all those things, but they could be like in that instance, they would be a high functioning, or maybe some people might value those high, but they could also be a person who's controlling, a person who's possessive, a person who's abusive, a person who's X, Y, and Z. There's other factors that come into play when it comes to if you think a person is high functioning or of high value. So, what would be the number one thing on your list um, for you to consider somebody high functioning or of high value? Let me know in the chat and in the comment section. What's the word, people? Let's see what's happening, man. And if anybody wants to come on and y'all got something to say, I'll put the link in the chat as well. If anybody wants to come on, I love a great debate, man. Let me see what's happening here. I can't see everything. Okay. I don't know who comes up with this shit, Janine. People just be creating their own shit, man. People be creating their own shit, man. People be creating their own shit. Like, people get jaded, or people get bitter, or people get caught up in the social media aspect, and people be on their superficial shit, and they just create these fairy tales or these dreams of what somebody wants. So somebody might say, I want somebody who's handsome, 6'2", athletic, and has six figures, and they don't know what that all comes with. Like, there's more to it than just these little things that people count. And I also think that most people don't just know what they want in general. They have this ideal thought of what they want, but they don't really know what they want. Like, they might know that I want somebody to treat me well. Okay, you might get somebody that treats you well, but that person might not be shit in other areas. So is that person of high value, or is he high functioning? Because you're still not getting treated well, but you're getting the things that you ask for. So you have to be careful in what you ask for versus, what comes back to you. Because those things don't always equate. And like y'all see, my Prophecies, a hoodie merch will be available soon for this segment. So y'all let me know if y'all want a t-shirt or a hoodie for the prophecy section. But let's go and let's start breaking down what y'all think is of high value and or of high functioning. So in the chat, y'all let me know if a person has their own car, what would you consider that to be to you? Is that high functioning, or is that of high value to you? Like, do you care if you meet somebody and they have their own car, or does that not matter to you? Say a person like works in New York. Shout out to Big Brooklyn in the chat. I see you, Tara and Janine. People that work in New York. A lot of them catch the subway, so a lot of people in New York don't have their own car. But to some people, that's a major point in how people look at people. Like, if you meet somebody, that's one of the first things they look for. Like, does this person have their own car? So y'all let me know in the chat and in the comment section when it comes to you meet somebody, and if they have their own car, is that of high value to you or high function? Let me know in the chat, man. Let me see if we can get this correct, man. What's the word, people? How's everybody doing, man? Are we ready to have a real conversation today, man? What's up, Angelia? I see you in the chat. So if a person has a car, is that of importance to you? Would you consider that If you created your own list, would you consider that high value or high function? Y'all let me know in the chat, man. Trying to get my camera together. It's doing its own thing right now. What's up? If a person has their own car, is that of high value to you, or is would you consider that high functioning, or both? Let me know in the chat. Angelia says it's not important to me because some people don't drive, but it's a plus if they do have a car. So when you meet somebody, what do you equate that to? Like, do you care or do you don't care? Tara says it's not important. Like you said, we live in New York, so you can get point A to B basically. Um, if I met a girl and she didn't have her own car, I might look at her as not high functioning because we live in Philly where you basically need a car to get around. But a lot of girls don't have their own cars simply because guys drive them around or they just catch Ubers all the time or whatever, their reasoning for it may be. But I would I would look at that as a little bit not high value. I would bring their value down in that. Yeah, Tanya says I prefer that they have a car. Yeah, I prefer that they have a car, but that wouldn't be a make or break for me. All right, so what is y'all thoughts about a person having their own house or apartment? Is that high functioning or is that of high value for you? Let me know in the chat. A person, if they have their own house or apartment, is that high functioning or of high value for you? Yeah, it's all right. It's a plus if people do have a car. Is you saying that for the car or the house? We're doing the house now, y'all. People, is it of high functioning for you or a high value if a person has their own house or own apartment? And then we're going to get back into the reasonings that this whole topic was about. She's saying the car. Janine's saying it's not important, but it's a plus because I used to drive. So you don't drive anymore, Janine? How many people in the chat still have their own car? Let's just start here then. How many people in the chat have their own car and still drive? And on the opposite end of it, would you care if your mate had their own car and they drove? All right. Angelia saying because of her living arrangements, I definitely need him to have his own spot. All right. So because of your own living arrangements, you need him to have his own spot. But how does that reflect back on you? Because this is not only about the other people. We have to be accountable for ourselves as well. So you need him to have his own spot. Why wouldn't that be something reflected back on you? She's saying she has her own car and she drives. Janae's saying she doesn't drive anymore. Janae, why don't you drive anymore? Is it just something that you just don't want to partake in anymore, or is there a specific reason? All right, Tara saying, yeah, they have to have their own place. If a girl didn't have her own place, would that be a thing? Yeah, I think it would be a thing just because it's kind of inconvenient. It's like an inconvenience if either side doesn't have their own place. So I don't want to make this a man or woman thing. Let's just say people. Um, if we're going high function and high value, if you don't have your own place, that might bring you down a little bit in the function and the value. That could be both. That could play a part in both. All right, so that's what it is. So we're gonna have some hard talks tonight, and look ourselves in the mirror, and let's get to the meat and potatoes of some shit, because it's a lot of you and finger pointing, and not enough reflection and um, checking your own self. So we're gonna do some self reflection and some checks tonight, people. So if you don't have your big girl panties on and big boy draws, I don't know if this is the conversation that you might not be ready to handle today, man. It might be some hurt feelings, man. It might be some hurt feelings. All right, so Janine is saying her legs prevent her from driving. I have DVT and they can cramp up at any time. All right, educate us, Janine. What is DVT? Educate us. What is DVT? Educators. What does these say? I don't know, Angela. We're gonna have some hard conversation. We're gonna have a hard talk today, man. I'm putting people's feet to the fire today. This is we not coddling, we're not pacifying. I'm putting people's feet to the fire today, man. All right, so we did car and we did house. Let's get back to hold on, let me read Tara's comment, and then we can get back into the meat and potatoes of the shit. So Tara saying that's true, because when my granny was alive, it was an inconvenience when I wanted to have company. Yeah, that becomes an inconvenience. If one side doesn't have their own place, because they can't come see you. What if something happens? They might need to stay with you. They can't. Or even if they can, there's other people there, so it's inconvenience either way. So at our big ages, I just think that everybody needs to be accountable for what they're doing and how they're moving. Now, if y'all haven't seen the interview, this interview was on Cam's podcast, which is normally on YouTube. So it's Cam Newton, a former NFL player, and Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, who's also like a therapist or a psychologist for people. So she's been on a rampage checking niggas like Nick Cannon and just humbling niggas on the fact that they are creating single parent homes and broken homes. She also said that blended families were just an extension of broken homes. How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all think that blended families are another component or a continuation of broken homes? Do women even like recollect or think about when they're being a single parent that they're in all actuality creating a broken home? All right, I see what it is, Tara. So Janine says she has DVT, which is deep vein thrombosis. She has it as well. All right, so we can get into that. Yeah, Angelia, that's a inconvenience. But we can get into that. As far as physical uh just abilities or being in shape and things of that nature, do y'all view that as being a high function or being of high value? Is this something that you need to work on? Like, I think everybody is at the point where you can get better in this area, but is this a thing that could be a negative against you if you're not in shape? So if you're not in shape, do you think that that can be a negative? And do you think that that's a negative for your partner? Would you want a partner that's not in good physical shape? What is your thoughts on that? Let me know in the chat and in the comment section. Is being in shape, would you look at that as high functioning or of high value? Would you want that for your partner? And how are you handling it yourself? Is it a plus for you, or is it negative for you, something that you have to work on? Let me know in the chat and in the comment section there. We're gonna have a talk today, people. We're gonna have a talk. Don't come over here with the BS. We're gonna have a talk today, man. We're gonna have a talk. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button underneath the video, like and share the video. This is the prophecies, high value versus high functioning people. Okay, before we move on, what's Angelia saying? She's saying definitely something I'm working on because I can't want a man in good health when I'm slack and definitely of high value. Yeah, I agree as well. I think I think health and being in shape is something of high value and of something high function because if you're not all the way fit or healthy or in shape, that could come back to bite you, you know. So yeah, I think that fits for both. Let's see. Diana saying, due to my illness, I'm not in the best shape. However, it isn't a negative to someone who really cares about you. Um, I don't think you could speak to if it's a negative for the person who cares about you because they might not like voice that to you, or they might not. It might not like show, but it could still be a hindrance. It could still be a hindrance. They just love you beyond that. They just love you regardless. But that doesn't mean that it's not a negative. They just still love you regardless. All right. Tara saying it's something I'm working hard at due to my health issues. So health and working on self is extremely important. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Look at Janine in the chat. Shout out to Views. What's up, Views? She's saying, but don't get me wrong, that's the only thing I lack is not driving. Um, we'll see. It's a lot left of the show. We'll see if that's the only thing you're lacking. We'll see if that's the only thing you're lacking. All right, so now back to the conversation. When it comes to Cam and Dr. Brian, um, do y'all view uh, a man who has multiple children by multiple women, but he's still successful? Do y'all view him as somebody that still has high value, or do y'all view him as a person who's high functioning? How would y'all view that? A person who's successful, well, a man who's successful but still has multiple children by multiple women. Would y'all view him as high value or high functioning? Y'all let me know in the chat in the comment section, man. As you should, Janae. You shouldn't put yourself there. This is not a putting. This is not a segment or a topic where we need to put anybody down. It's a segment of looking in the mirror on things that we can work on and be better at. Because I always say, you can always continue to grow. You can always continue to learn. A lot of times people think that growth is only financial. Growth is also personal traits that you can get better at. Like, even like a lot of y'all that's in the chat, maybe females, like a lot of females don't like sports. This is something that you can add. It don't matter what sport it is, just pick a sport. I don't care if it's boxing, tennis, golf, whatever it is. As long as you're adding something, you're adding value to yourself as a person. When you just be like, fuck it, I don't care about that, then that's lowering your bar. It's like me as a male, I have to know that I have to value things that women like as far as me cooking as a man, as far as me wanting to do things outside of my realm. That's how you add value to yourself as a person. Not functioning, making kids a lot. High functioning due to the fact that he or she has too many distractions. Do you even think that's possible, Sarah, to not have any drama or distractions? Even if you are highly successful, like Cam Newton, do you think an outsider wants to come along and now I got to deal with all your baby moms? Even if all your baby moms is cool, I still shouldn't have to be subject myself to having to deal with all these people outside of you. I'm here for you. I shouldn't have to deal with all these other women and all these other children that are, you know, that's your life. But those things become a distraction, or it can become a problem or drama or just inconvenience, time wise. How much time do you have for me if you got all of this going on? And some people don't care about time. I'm a person who does care about time. I need my personal time. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest for a woman to entertain a man who has a lot of kids. I don't care how good he's doing financially. I think that's a negative. I think that's a negative, and I think that's a lack of um, discipline. And maybe that's his choice, and he can do whatever he want to do. It's just something that I wouldn't um, suggest people take part of if it's something that you want specifically for you. So, what is y'all limit on the number of kids? What would be y'all limit on the number of kids a person has for it to be too many? My limit is always three. Once you get past two, I would never even take you seriously. That would never even be a thought that came across my brain. We might have been able to kick it or whatever it may be, but I would never take a person seriously that has more than two kids. Never in my whole life of adulthood. I just wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. I don't got time. Angelia's saying four kids, and they have to be grown or high school. How many people, Angelia? How many people do you think had got four whole kids and they all grown or high school? Most people that have more than three kids, they're not all grown or in high school. They're not all grown or in high school. Most people that have that amount of kids, they still be younger kids or at the most teenagers. Um, Janine saying, I've never dealt with anyone with more than two kids. Yeah, I think two kids should be the max. I don't think people should push it more than that. Because my point is, for with the kids thing, I know I joke a lot. I joke around a lot, and I say, "Fuck them kids" and all that kind of shit. But I'm about to be 45. All right, I'm about to be 45 in January. I'm about to be 45 in January. My daughter's 22. My son is 20. I'm not trying to start all over. I'm not trying to be nobody's stepfather. I'm not trying to go back to dealing with teenagers. I'm not trying to do none of that shit. I've been there. I've been there and did it. I've been there and did it. And then you have women who be like, "Oh, they my kids. I take care of my kids. You don't gotta worry about that." That's a fucking lie. It's a fucking lie. Because if we get serious in a relationship, I'm going to have to interact with the kids. I'm going to have to be around the kids. It might not be a full-on stepfather thing, but it's you still gotta be a part of the life in some kind of way, and it's still an inconvenience. And most people don't think about these things when they're having um, these amount of kids. They just be like, well, if you want to deal with me, or even the guy, if she want to deal with me, they gotta accept my kids. Yeah, they do, but why should they have to? Why would you want to put yourself in that place? Um, you got three kids and they're all grown. Um, Salute to you, Angelia. Salute to you. I'm just saying, on the grand scheme of things, like if we look at the numbers, people who have more than three or four kids, all of them are not grown. All of them are not grown. If we look at the numbers, and society just in general. Um, all of them are not grown. Yeah, see, y'all still talking about all the kids being grown, man. That's a wish, or I'm just not that old yet. Maybe it's just me. I'm just not that old yet. Where the people that I be around, all the kids ain't grown. Maybe I'm just not that old yet. All right. Diana saying most of the men I dated didn't have children. However, I date a man with three grown children, but they acted and treated me like they were still babies. That's what I'm saying. So is that something that you want to deal with? That people got three kids around that still act like babies? Nobody got time for that. And how do y'all feel about um a grown man who's never been married or had kids? Do y'all think that he's high functioning or high value? How do y'all view that man, or how do y'all view that woman? Um, is do y'all view them as high value and high functioning? Yeah, it's gonna be some kind of interaction, and I ain't got time for it, Angelia. I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool. I mean, even when it comes to grandkids, I mean, y'all see my little sweet baby granddaughter. She cute and all, but she gotta go be with her mom. She gotta go be with her mom. I did my kid thing. Like I'm trying to enjoy myself now. I'm trying to enjoy my days. I'm not trying to be strapped down with none of the kids. Salute to you, Janine. Yeah, salute to you, Janine. Uh, so you think that they're both? Yeah, I think they can be both, but I think they also can be not both. I think they also could be like this is one of the things that come in being high functioning, man. So say a man or a woman is high functioning, right? But that's all they are. So their main objective is, working and being successful, or they got certain goals for their career, X, Y, and Z. But they don't put any time into being a good partner. They don't put any time or any effort in being a partner, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever it may be, a wife, a husband. They don't put any time into that because they're so busy and focusing on whatever they're doing. So they are a super high functioning person, but their value could be dropping because they don't have any time for anything else, or they might be abusive, or they might be controlling, they might be possessive, they might be a number of things that any of these things I think can bring down your value. Angelia is saying, I prefer a man with children and has to be at least married once. Um, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Yeah, so that brings up a good point. So she said, Dr. Bryant said she wouldn't even date a man who has children. So it's just like what I said earlier about how I wouldn't never date a woman who has children at this point. But she's a single mother. She's a single mother, and her kid is not even that old. Do y'all feel like that's a right that somebody has to say that, or would you feel the same way about not dating somebody with or without children? How do you feel about that? Do y'all think that's high functioning or high value to not date somebody or to date somebody who has children? Angelia is saying she prefers to date a man with children. So you prefer to date a man with children? Would you would welcome being somebody's stepmom? That's something that you would welcome. You wouldn't have a problem with that. What is the double standard, Diana? Because she has a kid and she's saying she wouldn't date a man with children. Yeah, I think that is a double standard, but I'm not mad at her decision. I'm not mad at her decision. Yeah, I'm not mad at her decision. I mean, to each his own, man. To each his own, man. Y'all let me know in the chat and in the comment section what things are on your list of being high functioning, of high value. Do y'all like, what is your priority list? Do you put um, how a person treats you? So I'll break this down. Um, how she was saying it. She was saying that women create this fairy tale where um, they meet a guy and they want him to be their Prince Charming. So they meet a guy and they already have a mold or an idea of what they want him to be instead of actually liking and getting to know this specific guy. They have these things already that they want the guy to be. So do y'all find yourselves um, falling for the things that you want this person to be, or do you get to know the person and do you fall for the person? So y'all let me know in the chat and in the comment section. How do y'all break that down? Do you have an idea of what you want and you try to find that? So you might find the things that what you want in this person, but there may be other shit that this person has that you didn't account for. So, how does that work for y'all? Do you find yourself trying to mold somebody into what you want them to be, or do you get to know and like that person for who that person is? And do you think that if a person loves you enough, they will change, or would you even want a person to change because now they're not being their authentic self because they're changing for you? And at some point, that could always switch up and go back. So I think that it's imperative that we start taking accountability on the specific things that we want in a person, the specific things that we don't want in a person, and we stop pussyfooting around and beating around the bush. And if this is not that, you got to let it go. Or if it's something that you can compromise in, then you compromise with it. What the point of making somebody to be what you want them to be? I think that that's a done deal. Diana's saying I don't set myself up for disappointments. Um, you never really know a person. It's always a secret somewhere. Um, we could stay there. We could stay there for a second. Why do people feel like you never really know a person? There's always a secret somewhere. I don't think you never really know a person. Some people do have secrets and some people are good, but it's also a lot of times you don't want to see what the person is. You like that person, so you just ignore the shit that they're hiding, or you just ignore the shit that they are showing you because you like the person. So I don't think it's always a secret or a person's always lying or hiding shit. I think you like somebody and you ignore that shit, and that becomes a problem. Y'all let me know. What does this mean by I tried to get to know the person? Tanya King. Yeah, I agree with this, Janine. Don't change for me, change for yourself. I agree with that. And what are you guilty of, Diana? What are you guilty of? If y'all have any questions, put it in the chat or in the comment section as well. This is high functioning versus high value, man. So also a part of this is emotional maturity and emotional intelligence. How you handle your emotions can either bring down your value or give you high value. And that also could be high functioning if you are a person who can handle your emotions. So if you're a person who something happens, or there's an argument, or whatever it may be, where there's a break in communication. So when there's a break in communication, you watch how people handle. Do people like sit in their own shit and wait for you to come and be like, I'm sorry, whatever, blah, 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 blah? Or do you want to have a person who's able to talk through their emotions with you? Because a lot of times when it's always going to be finger pointing and blaming when it comes to emotions or a communication break, but you have to both be able to still communicate through these bad times. So it's like, even me as a person, I'm learning to step outside of myself and be like, all right, I'm upset about this, you upset about that, but let's just talk through it so it doesn't become a thing. Because once it becomes a thing, then it lingers on, then other shit comes involved in it, and then it becomes an even bigger problem. And now you're on the verge of breaking up over the minuscule of things. Yeah, you can't just put up with somebody because you care about them, because they will use that against you. Like, they will use that to their advantage. They will use that against you, and they will continue to play on you because they know that they can get away with it because you care about them. You have to set boundaries on what you allow people to say and get away with, because if you don't, they will walk over you. Yes, try to talk and not argue. Sometimes you do need a break, like a day or two, so emotions can calm down, and then come back and have that conversation. But you gotta talk it out. We can't keep on sweeping shit under the rug and being and act like it didn't fucking happen. No, you said this, I said that, and let's work that shit out so we don't have to have these lingering feelings about what was said or what happened. So how do y'all feel about the emotional side of it? Do y'all think that a person with emotional intelligence and emotional maturity is high functioning and high value? Is that something that you look for in a person? Let me know in the chat and in the comment section, man. Yeah, they do have to be willing to talk, and not talking does make it worse. This is what I'm doing, man, from here on out. If we have an issue and you're not willing to talk about it, you don't want to be grown enough to talk about it, you don't have the emotional maturity, you don't have the emotional intelligence, you don't have the emotional bandwidth to talk, guess what's about to happen? We ain't gonna never talk again. How about that? If you're not grown enough to have a conversation, I don't care if this is 2, 3, 4, 5 days later. If we can't talk about it at some point, then we done. And that's what it's gonna be. And that's what it's gonna be, because it will get worse. Yeah, it will get worse. And we ain't doing it. Nobody got time for that shit. We all getting too old for the bullshit. We gotta cut. Let's cut this shit, man. Let's cut this shit and let's be grown ups and let's do what we supposed to do, man. That's what it is, man. That's what it is, man. So what is y'all so what is on your priority list? So say if you just met somebody, yeah, we're not doing the back and forth either, Tara. It does take two people to figure it out. And if one of those people is not trying to figure it out, then set your boundaries and cut them loose. Set your boundaries and cut them loose because people know when they play with you. People know they'll continue to play with you if you allow them to. That's what people will do. If you allow people to play with you, they will continue to play with you. You can't allow it. You got to set some kind of boundaries. And I ain't saying just cut them off for every little thing. I'm saying if we can't talk this shit through, then that's an issue. I don't want to live in a toxic space where we have a super fucking argument and then sweep that shit under the rug like nothing happened. No, 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 them days is dead. That's toxic and that's fucking childish. That's what I think is childish. That's what I think is immature. If you feel that way, and I feel, let's talk about it. Let's work it out. Let's talk about it. All right. So, like I was saying, when y'all meet somebody, what is on your list for you to say this person is of high value and high functioning? Like, is it career? Is it their personality? What is on your list that you need for your person to be? Is it how they treat you? How does your priority list break down for you to be able to like this person? Because a lot of times we get caught on the things. Like even as men, a man could see a woman and she could have a fat ass, or she could be cute, or some nice titties, or whatever it may be, and we don't automatically, or I'll just speak for myself because I don't know what the fuck these niggas be doing, but I don't automatically be like she's of high value because she's physically, she has something that I'm physically attracted to. No, you have to have other things, and that's why I be saying the building upon yourself. So it's like if you're not in shape, work out. Continue to work out. Try to get yourself in the best shape you can. I know a lot of people have physical things that they're dealing with. I have those as well. But you can't always sit back and use that as an excuse. You have to do what you can do or what you're allotted to put yourself in a better position physically, not just for other people, but for yourself. So it's always about building upon yourself to become a better person. So some people sit around and be like, I'm who I am. Take me as I am. No, I don't never sit around and be like, I'm who I am. Take me as I am. I'm still a work in process. I'm still getting better and learning more and adding more attributes to myself to bring my value up. People look at people with bad credit and be like, people with bad credit, your value is coming down. You're not high functioning. You got bad credit. What are you doing? You of a certain age, you got to get your credit straight. You got to get your credit straight. What are we doing out here? Some shit got to start happening, people. We can't just sit around and be like, this is that and that is this and whatever it may be and take me as I am. No. The days of take me as I am is over. It's the days of I'm working to be better. It's the days of I'm working to be better, man. Yeah, Angelia. Let's throw that toxicity shit in the trash. I hold on to every word that's said to me, too, Janine, and I'm gonna make you stand on it. If you say something crazy to me, please believe they say all the time, till you hold grudges. No, I don't hold grudges because if I was holding a grudge, I would never speak to you ever again in life. But what you said, I'm gonna make you stand on that, and I'm gonna make you eat that. All right, Angelia is saying it's how they treat people these days because people don't know how to treat people anymore. That's a fact. People don't know. You know why people don't know how to treat people anymore? Because people allow people to treat them any kind of way. That's why people don't know how to treat people anymore. If you allow me to treat you like shit, I'm gonna treat you like shit. It's what you allow. It's not always based on the person that's doing it. It's based on what you allow. Because if you stop allowing that shit, guess what? The person is gonna get their shit together, or they gonna go find somebody else they could do it to. So it's what you allow. Like I said, let's not pointing the finger this way and point it this way. Point it this way. Point it this way. Let's see what's happening, man. Diana's saying, I know someone that you're not using big dictionary words that you don't know how to communicate. Who said you don't know how to communicate if you're not using a big dictionary words? You don't have to use big dictionary words to know how to communicate. Communication can be simple. Communication can be simple. So this is what I'm gonna tell y'all. This is a tip for y'all, man. A lot of people use big words to hide and deflect. Don't let that shit fool you. Don't let that shit go over your head. People try to use big dictionary words to hide behind. They use big dictionary words to hide behind and confuse your brain into thinking maybe I was wrong, or maybe I don't know, or maybe whatever it may be. They use big dictionary words to like make you insecure. That don't mean that they right. They just throw in shit out. Yeah, yeah, Tara, that's crazy. That's exactly fucking crazy. They using shit to hide behind. Don't like communication can be simple, man. If you ask a person, how do you feel about me? Or why you did X, Y, and Z, you don't need big dictionary words to express yourself. Just speak. Say, I feel like this, or I felt that way. You don't need big words for that. Yeah, that's manipulation. That's manipulation. Don't let people blind you with manipulation, man. Even if they do know what the words means, Angela, they're just using that to deflect and try to confuse you. They're trying to play on your insecurities. And I'll tell y'all this, man, because in my younger years, I was smarter than a lot of females. I probably did that. I probably did that as well. I probably talked to them a certain way and they couldn't keep up with me mentally, and I used that. I probably have did that. I'll say I have did that. I've definitely done that, like in my younger years, but I'm not on that no more. I'm not on that no more. Like I said, people use that as a tactic to manipulate or to take control of situations and play on your insecurities. Communication is simple. You don't need big dictionary words. It's not complicated. Tell somebody how you feel. You don't need all that extra shit. It's a simple thing. Thank you, Angelia. Like I said, I'm working. I'm doing the work. We're going to have another conversation about healing and the fake healing that people be doing, because that shit's pissing me off as well. I'll tell y'all this, and this is going to be dropping soon. Healing is not detachment, separation, and avoidance. That's not healing. That's not real healing. And there's more to this, but y'all will see and hear that soon, man. That is not healing. Just because you run away from it or you avoid it, you're not healing. That's going to be a whole nother conversation. Stay tuned for that, man. But as we wrap up this conversation, high value. What's up, Tara? I see you. High value versus high functioning. Does anybody have any questions or anything else they want to say? I also want people to come on and speak their piece on these topics, because I love a good debate and I love for people to share their stories and their experiences. This is going to be a members only section, and then I'll drop it for the public probably next week. But while we're having these intimate conversations, stay tuned for those as well. I got 3 of those coming soon. They'll be only for members only. So this will be a safe space for people to come on and speak and say what they need to say, or they might have a question, whatever it may be. Let's work it out, man. I had a conversation last night that y'all gonna be happy for about menopause. So I seen, it's a lot. Every time I try to talk to women about menopause, they don't want to talk about it. It's too sensitive. I don't want to talk about my hot flashes. My is general. Well, I had a whole conversation about menopause, and y'all will see that soon on Intimate Conversations. So stay tuned for that, man. This is a safe place for people to come and talk about their shit, man. That's the problem. People is not talking about their shit. And then it builds inside of you, it builds inside of you, and nothing is getting fixed. Nothing is getting fixed. Nothing is getting worked on. All this fake healing, the shit gotta stop, man. The shit gotta stop, man. The shit gotta stop, man. Yeah, Angelia, then you wasn't healed. You thought you was healed. You fooled yourself. You fooled yourself, and it happens. It happens to a lot of us. It happens. It happens. But you gotta actually do the work, man. Thank you, Tara. You gotta actually do the work, man. Yeah, Diana. We do need to have to talk about it because I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to understand it. Like if y'all don't talk, I'm not a female. If you don't tell me what you're going through or what you're feeling as a female, how am I supposed to know? You gotta talk. We gotta talk, man. We gotta have the conversation, man. All right, people, we're gonna wrap up soon. I see Angelia in the chat go crazy. Yeah, man, I got a whole conversation about it coming soon. Make sure y'all stay tuned to Intimate Conversations. They're gonna be dropping soon. So there's a whole conversation about that. I got all the ins and outs about that. But like I said, y'all are females. I'm just one person. I'm just one man. I can't feel what you feel, and I don't pretend to. All I do is I share my experiences and I share my thoughts and knowledge that I still work on every day to try to help people out. Man. That's what the prophecies is. The prophecies is a place for people to share knowledge and experiences to help grow understanding, man. Without understanding, you can't see the vision, and without vision, you will never be able to understand. Not anger management. Y'all over there wilding. Y'all in the chat wilding, man. What's up, people? It's almost 9 o'clock. We supposed to be here for an hour. Does anybody have any more questions before we get up out of here? The topic is high value versus high functioning. I didn't see y'all put your priority list in the chat or in the comments for what you want or what you prefer. And see you playing around, Angelique. I'm trying to give you the jewels, man. I'm trying to help y'all out. Y'all playing around, man. Y'all playing around, man. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like and share the video. Like I said, this is going to be for the members only. The live is going to be for the members only, and then I'll drop it to the public a week later. But stay tuned. I got a lot of things coming, man. All right, people. If nobody else has any questions, we're gonna get up out of here. Like I said, if y'all want the merch, holler at me. I'm about to get these in black as well. I had to get my coloring book out. I can't, man. Yeah, I'm going to be dropping a lot of information on the prophecies, man. I might, when the next thing drops about the Diddy case, I'll do an update on the Diddy case as well. We got a lot of topics to get into. I'm gonna touch on that fake Hill and John, and also I got another tidbit before we get out of here, man. And let me see, man. I gotta come in a little bit closer, man. Listen, there are black women. I love y'all. Don't get me wrong on this one. But there are black women. Just because that man cheated, that don't make him a narcissist. He's just a cheater. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. That don't make him a narcissist. He's just a cheater. Don't call every black man a narcissist because he cheated. He's just a narcissist. I mean, he's just a cheater. So y'all got me doing it now. He's just a cheater. He's just a cheater. That don't make him narcissist, man. But this is the prophecies, people. Like I said, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button. Continue to leave your comments in the comment section. If anybody has any questions or any topics that y'all want to touch on, send them to my inbox or put it in the comment section. We're going to get up out of here. I am the prophet. This is Prophecies. Y'all have a good one. Deuces.